Welcome back, you guys. My name is Jackie if you're new, and today I am this happy because I'm doing a thrift haul. My current strategy is I go out once every 2 to 3 weeks. I load up on as much as I possibly can in the 2 to 3 locations that I've determined are safest for how comfortable I feel. During the pandemic, just a lot of places aren't following the rules, so I've kind of had to make my selections as far as like where I will go and where I won't go until things come back to being overall safer. But I make thrift hauls not so much to be like, go to my Poshmark, go to my eBay shop these items. Of course, if you're interested in anything, they will be on my Poshmark and or eBay shops where I am goodie stash over there. But I share because I want people to see the types of things that are available. The point is I'm trying to show like the types of items that I enjoy picking up and the types of things that you could find if you venture out and shop secondhand, just to sort of promote and encourage secondhand shopping, because I think that buying everything new is very wasteful when there is so much good stuff that's already available out in thrift stores, charity shops, estate sales, and a lot of the money that comes from these sales goes back into the community. You can kind of look into what causes, what does this store promote, like what causes do they help fund, because every store is different, and I tend to prefer like the smaller shops and the independent shops because I know they do a lot of great work in the community. Okay, enough talking. I found a lot of stuff. Let's get into it. Okay, the first item is a clothing item, and I'll insert pictures if any of these fit me and I already modeled them. Here's the brand for this. Hopefully you can see that. Beta brand. So this is a new-ish to me brand. I've heard of it and I've seen like their ads, but I have never found it. And so this is the first time this is the second time. I posted 2 of these Beta brands in my shop, and this one sold pretty quickly, like within a week, I believe. And I'm putting this one up next. So they're like really, really comfortable, and that's the problem with trying on the stuff. When I try it on, I'm like, oh my God, like now I want to keep these, and now I want the first ones that I sold, like I actually want a pair of those, but I'm like, I'll just sell them. I'll probably find another one. But next up, this is a new situation as far as, okay, can you see that? I don't know how you say this, Heart Schaefer Marks, but what's interesting is this brand, they make men's suits, so it's kind of a nice brand, but I've never seen like their loungewear, and I feel like now people are more in their pajamas than ever before, so the chance of this selling might be better, and I just thought, well, it's by a good brand, so I'll try it out. See the texture on it. I like that herringbone. I like classic prints. I just grab them over and over and over, and I've always loved herringbone. Now, this one sold once, so it sold relatively quickly, but they returned it because it was too small, and I think this may have been washed and shrank, so that may be an issue. I'm going to try to sell it again and put like it runs small, because now that I know that, but it didn't measure small, so anyway, that'll be a little tricky. But if that one doesn't sell, it's a dual purpose. I like that print for bag making, so if it doesn't sell as a pajama, I am going to turn it into a bag later. Okay, next up is this is the first time I've actually thrifted this brand. I've seen it a lot, and I know it's a really solid brand. Fry. So I don't know if you can see that. It's sort of stamped on there, but then it's on the hardware too. So this is like a very rugged, hopefully my nails are decent. This is like I have to do my research on this, but just based off the looks of it, it's either a vintage bag that's like got that, it's like really has this worn in leather, or it's one of those that's factory made to look older, and then it was literally used so much that now it looks even older. But either way, I know there is a lot of people that like this sort of like worn in leather vintage style, and I love the buckle. I don't know, I just love this bag. You can just feel like when I touched it, I was just like, oh yeah, this is good. Like, I have to take this. And it was marked up a bit, but not too high. So I'm going to use I have saddle soap, and then I'm going to condition the leather to kind of refresh that. So that's going to be a project. That's not going to be up. That won't be up anytime soon. Does anybody else do that? You have like project pile and then ready to sell pile. Okay, next. I don't know what it is. I know it's literally just a tin that was from a food product, but for whatever reason, when I see these little carousel ones, I always grab them. But I just like them. I just think they're fun. Okay, these are, I'm not going to show all four, but they're these little kind of like worn in floral napkins, and I bought those for the fabric. Here's another fabric item. This person had, I think I've only got like a few more, but look at that. I don't know, it's just something about it. It's not my style, but I don't know, I just kind of was like drawn into the bright colors on that. It's very vintagey, retro 70s. Next. Okay, this is my first time with this one. This. I got it because it was new with tags, and it was my size too, so if it didn't do well, I could keep these. I paid a little bit more for these than for the other items, but then when I put them on, I was also like, I kind of like these, but I'm getting rid of so many of my workout leggings. I've sold quite a few of my Gymshark ones because I just don't wear them enough, and I have so many leggings, so I'm not going to keep them, but I love the way they feel. So that's like a brand to remember. Liss, the fabric, it's like really comfortable. It says it has built-in shaping, which I absolutely love. Okay, maybe I should hurry up. I have quite a bit more. All right, we have this. This is another one that once I touched it, I could just tell it was good quality. I don't usually pick up Adidas, but again, it just felt really good. It's like lightweight, and then I have no business picking up sports stuff because I didn't know what this meant. I didn't, I'm like, oh, celebrity invitational, so it's possibly this was a celebrity tournament is what I'm thinking, and it was made for the celebrity to wear. They didn't want it, so they donated it. And maybe that's why it feels so good, because it's nice quality. But that'll be great for a golfer, and I love selling golfer jackets. And I'm going to go over the fabrics really quick. I pick up vintage fabrics usually when I'm out because, I don't know, I just like them. Okay. Love that. I love the muted sort of colors on that, very earthy. And then here's another. I'm not like a huge floral person, but there's something about sort of these vintage florals that I do like, and I think a lot of other people like it too. So this is the pillowcases, but I have the huge king flat sheet, so that's going to be a huge amount of fabric for a very low cost. And here's the other one. This is a tablecloth. Again, I'm not going to use it as a tablecloth. I'm going to cut it up and turn it into some clothing items and or bags. So those are all for me for crafting. Highly recommend getting crafting supplies while you're out at thrifts and estates. They have so many interesting things. These, I thought, I just liked the chunky platform. not so sure about like the mule style, but I really like the chunky. I decided to just go ahead and grab them because they hadn't been worn, and I thought if I threw these in the wash they would come clean. They actually did not come clean. Somehow they came out, I think, even weirder looking, like even more yellowed or whatever. So since I have fabric paint, I figured I'll turn this into a little DIY project. So we'll just have some fun with those and see what I can paint on them. I might just paint them metallic, or I might do a graphic. We shall see. Hello. So these are Ralph Lauren, and I believe these are men's. Just kind of a classic, I guess kind of a classic bread and butter item. One of my thrifts that I shop at, I discovered they have a really good shoe selection, and so I'm always looking for shoes when I'm at that one. So let me just show you all the shoes I grabbed really quick. These are Express. I can't read the size. I'll have to look into it. These are Express. I love the style of them. I love that they're genuine leather. And these are, I think these are vintage. Again, I have to look them up. Can you see that? Danny X or something like that. Just a cute little boot. I call these granny boots. Why do I always say granny? They're called, I swear they're called granny boots. I don't just call them that. People look for that. It's just like a cute little vintage booty, and they have the pointed toe and they're genuine leather. So here's another pair that I sold. Were these granny boots too? Yeah, I believe they were. And then here's another pair I sold that were like, again, that lace-up style, but these were more of a, I think, like Victorian looking style. But yeah, I just love those lace-up vintage boots, especially if they're suede leather. Oh my god, I look so rough right now. Okay, more shoes. These are Dansko, which I love selling Dansko. These, I thought the suede, when I brushed it out, it would come out better, but I would say the suede on these is just really well worn. But again, genuine leather, made in Morocco. And the Dansko test, I do this with Dansko, Echo, and any brands that are known for having issues with their sole. I twist it really kind of rough and make sure that nothing is coming apart, because, God, now I can't remember the word, but I want to say dry rot. They have an issue with dry rot on some of their shoes, and that's the way to test them against it. Okay, so the brand is just soft, so I would say nothing special there, but I love that cork and then the kind of minimalist little it's like tortoise plastic. My words, like I can't talk today, and I try to do a thrift haul. I picked them up because they've hardly been worn, if at all, and I like the cork and just kind of the minimalist aesthetic on these with that little ring in the middle. Picked these up for Nico, and then I realized he already had a lot of shoes, so Sperry, you really can't go wrong. Boys size 5, and they've been worn, but they have a lot of wear left on those. These little beauties I picked up at the estate, and I don't know the brand. I'm pretty sure these are vintage. They look vintage. Everything else says vintage about them. But even if they weren't, I love wingtip shoes, and I almost always grab them if the condition is decent. These have a little bit of wear on the whites, you can see, but I just still think overall these are really good. The one downside is I recently learned the B. I recently learned that B on women's shoes means it's narrow, and I always thought B was regular, so these will be harder to sell because they are a 7B, but I still like them. Okay, so this is more what I should be picking up, which is like summary items. This is just Lands' End, so the brand isn't why I picked it up. I couldn't resist that lemon print. I just think that's so fun. And this is, even though it's a lighter color, it looks like it's hardly been worn, maybe even at all. So I had to get that. I thought that was so fun for summer. And I struggle to find summer stuff because it doesn't sell for as much. So the cost has to be really good on it to even pick it up. So I'm like really picky with what I get for summer. I may just be selling a lot of shoes this summer. But I found this, which is summery, but this is old cabbie. But I love how the seams are on the back, and I kind of like that it's short sleeve. It doesn't fit me, or I'd try this one on, but I don't know, it's just kind of classic. The only questionable thing is it going to be worth selling? Because you can see it's got a little bit of these just minor discolorations on the fabric, and you can see like on the collar fold. So if not, that might go into the DIY pile for like upcycling. Okay, let's just do a few more. So this is Orvis. I like selling Orvis for men, but this was a women's, but I wanted to grab it because it has the vented back, and I've not had a problem selling these fishing style like outdoorsy shirts. It's kind of funny because I don't really, I'm not a camper, I don't fish, I don't golf, but these are the types of things that I find a lot in my area, and I just know like other people do, and people are going to be outdoors more, and I try to stock my shop with practical quality vintage pieces, so a little bit of eclectic but also a practical element, so that I always have things to keep my store turning. Because if I only picked up quirky, like eccentric vintage pieces, that would be really cool, but then I wouldn't sell consistently. So these are sort of like what keeps my store running, is the classic kind of quality practical pieces, I guess you could say. And then here is, I just thought this was too cool to not pick up. Vintage Pendleton, virgin wool. I'm forgetting the name of this style of hat, but I don't know. I didn't see any issues with it, and so I'm like, well, even though winter's coming to an end, somebody will probably grab that sooner or later. I really like selling hats. That's something that kind of surprised me. Okay, so this one's a little bit questionable. It also is that same brand, Liss, but this is what I didn't know about it. If you can see, there's like this, I don't know if you can see that, but it's almost like, it looks like the fabric is darker in some areas than others, and it has kind of almost like a stained look, but then they're new with tags, so that's sort of a mystery to me. I don't know, were they made to look like that? Because to me that looks like, hang on. Okay, here's like a good spot. See if you can see that. You see that? How the, with all that. So these are a little bit confusing. I think I'm going to disclose that as a manufacturing flaw, but I don't understand what that is or why that is on there. So I don't know if those will sell. Okay, 2 more items. So Robert Graham, and this may or may not sell because Robert Graham is known for his flamboyant, you know, usually the flip cuffs and all that. But I I didn't want to leave this. It's, again, it's good quality. It's classic. I like the just gray on gray combo. So I got that. Okay, I lied, 2 more. I forgot I had this one. I have no idea what the SI is. I may have to figure that out. Patriots. My husband's a Raiders fan, so he was just thrilled to see me bring this back. Only flaw I found on this was there's a little pin tuck here. I grabbed it because new with tags, so I'm sure somebody will want that. And the last item is this crazy vintage, I don't know, what does the brand say? I don't know this brand, but okay, let's see. Let's take a vote here. It looks a very like 80s, and then it goes down that long. So what do you think on this purple one? Should I try to sell it as is? There are no flaws. I think I'll try to sell it as is, but if nobody wants a purple leather oversized jacket, then I'm going to take this for the material, because it's not very often that I find genuine purple leather, and it's like there's nothing wrong. There may be very minor wear, but I haven't found any flaws on this, so I just thought that was really cool. And we are out of time, so I hope you enjoyed this thrift haul. Thanks for watching. Let me know what's your favorite item that you've thrifted lately or picked up, or what was your favorite item in this haul. Okay, see you guys. Bye.